It's one of the great mysteries of the world, ranking right up there with how do boats float or how do planes fly. How do the Rangers play so bad on the road? John Radigan, Jeff Wilson, we've got the Queen. Katya's over there helping us out today as we kind of try to dissect what the heck's wrong with this team, Jeff. 15 games over 500 at home. Seems pretty appropriate.
That's good.
Yeah, seems pretty appropriate. 14 games under 500 on the road. That's not good.
It's not good. And, we said it on the show this week. If the Rangers were 500 on the road, they would be running away with the West.
Yep.
They might be the top seed. If they were 7 games below 500, if they were 50% better, they would be in the playoffs. And the offense has been miserable this year. We've talked about that a lot. I mean, every other show it seems like, God, what the offense is dreadful.
Yeah.
So that's a big story, and that goes into the road woes. But the secondary story, what's wrong with this team, is their inability to win on the road, and it doesn't make sense. It's a veteran team. For the most part, they've been to these venues many, many times. They've seen the pitching. They should know these teams, and it just doesn't work.
No, it hasn't worked. It's unfortunate. It really is one of those almost inexplicable things because, again, we're looking at road trips over the course of the season, and the Rangers had only 2 winning road trips so far this year. Out of all the trips they've had, they had a 2-1. I mean, barely a winning road trip. You hardly qualify 3 games as a trip, but their first trip was to Cincinnati. They were 2-1 in that series, and then they had a 4-2 road trip. And that's it as far as winning road trips go. We're celebrating a 3-3 road trip that they had to Boston and Detroit, and a 5-5 road trip that they had to San Diego, Los Angeles to play the Angels, and then Houston. These are not things that should be celebrated at this point, not with a team that's as talented as the Rangers. And it doesn't, I mean, of course, it does seem like it's the same thing all the time. It's the offense, but it's not. I mean, they've been a little bit better offensively on the road. So it's not, It hasn't always been the offense, which is also a little bit frustrating.
Yeah. And, we have said all along that this team's problems do go back to the offense.
Always. Yep.
I mean, if this team is overall toward the bottom of baseball in all the categories.
Yep.
Not just a few, pretty much all of them. And so when you don't score runs, that makes it hard. The pitchers have to be perfect.
Right.
And they can't be. And the Rangers have the best road ERA in baseball this year. Okay. The best. I mean, they have the best ERA in baseball this year. And it's like,
and a road ERA, we're not just talking about the starters,
right?
It's the entire ERA.
Team.
Look at that.
Yeah. And so what's happened? They've lost a lot of games by 1 run. They are terrible in 1-run games. So there's your third element to why the Rangers are where they are. But on the road, it's even worse. How many times does it seem like they get walked off on the road?
Oh,
a whole hell of a lot. And you can go back to the A series in April. There was a walk-off loss there. The getaway day game in San Francisco with that crazy play involving Jock Peterson, I think, in the field. That's a walk-off loss. So that's 2 on 1 trip. This last the Mariners trip over the trade deadline, the Friday night game, Robert Garcia blows it. It continues and continues and continues. So. But again, a lot of that is the offense didn't do enough. The offense missed out with runners in scoring position. They had a runner at third with 1 out and didn't get him home, and by golly, they end up losing by a run. It's just so that's why they haven't.
Right.
Now, how do they win on the road? Well, they hit. And you look at this series, this last homestand, 5 of the 6 games they were good offensively. Now the 20 games Wednesday night, again, I'm only counting 12 of those runs because 8 were against that god awful position player. And so, but within those first 12 runs, you saw quality at bats, 2-out hits, just good offense, taking walks, things that the team hadn't done and hasn't done most of the season. So I think, John, that there's a little offensive momentum. You're seeing Jock Peterson, of all people, who has a 7-game hitting streak. You see Adolis Garcia, of all people, who's got a 5-game hitting streak since coming off the injured list. So you have 2 struggling bats who you expected to be key cogs in the middle of your lineup, suddenly hitting. And it's, again, 7 games and 5 games. They're not threatening Joe DiMaggio here.
No.
But it's something. And then Corey Seager's fantastic. Wyatt Langford. And Wyatt Langford's been on base in 17 straight games. That's right.
And in the case of like a Peterson and Wyatt too, and Ezekiel Duran, it's more than just the last homestand, right? For all those guys, it's pretty much the month of August. Especially Peterson, the light bulb seems to have just finally come on. But several of those guys, Zeke has had a great month. Wyatt, again, 17 straight games he's been on base. He's had a great month. And then Adolis was hurt for much of the month, or on the injured list for much of the month. But he's come back really strong. And Bruce Bochy told us he had a conversation with him, not about you got to do this, but more about we want you to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, hey, use this time well, you're doing, not, you have to, and we talked about it a lot on the post-game show Wednesday. It's not, you got to know your players, and Adolis doesn't take criticism well. He's hard enough on himself. He needs to kind of have some sunshine pumped into him. And Bruce Bochy knows that and has a way to do it. Be like, hey, all right, get straight, get your ankle right, and while you're there, clear out your head. Maybe work on your swing a little bit.
Yep.
Take advantage of it so that you can be the player that you want to be and that we need you to be. And for 5 games, he has been.
Yes.
And, he's hit a couple home runs within those. He's had multiple hit games. His defense has been terrific. So, if he's the start of something, if Peterson is the start of something, let's say they're batting 4-5 behind Smith, who needs to get going, Langford and Seager, you got some guys on base for some boppers, and they can drive those guys in, and that just that feeds throughout the lineup. The guys at the bottom of the lineup, they're encouraged, and so you've seen Kyle Higashioka, for instance, come to life in the second half. You're seeing Josh Young show a little something, and then Ezekiel Duran. Some of these young guys are giving a little spark of energy, and it's been only one homestand. Maybe you could say the last road trip, the offense wasn't terrible, but it feels like the offense is in a different spot than it's been all season.
Yeah, and, so Jock Peterson said it himself in the clubhouse after the game on Wednesday night. He said, I really think we need to go out on the road and we need to win 5 or 6 games. By the way, it's a 6-game trip, right? So it's asking a lot from a team that has, at the most, won 4-2. Again, their best record on a road trip this season was 4-2. So 5-1, obviously a game better than that. But let's just say they win 5. They go 5-1. They come back here with 73 wins, Jeff, and there would be 22 games left in the season. So they're not done yet if they come back like that. But I believe at 73 wins with 22 games left, there's a much more legitimate shot.
Yeah, I mean, you probably need to get to 86.
Yeah.
So, could the Rangers in that
they'd still have to win 14 out of 22, 13 out of 22.
13-9. Can you do that? I don't know. You got the Mets, the Astros twice, the Brewers. All right, they're pretty good.
They're awfully good.
Then you do get a breather in the last homestand against the Marlins, who are probably better than people expected, but not great, and the Twins, who, are basically half of a AAA team right now.
Yeah.
And then you go to Cleveland to finish things off. There's opportunity, but it's this homestand, and they got to figure out a way to win on the road.
Yep, they've got to. They haven't all season long. It's very tough to figure, like planes flying and boats floating. And I've always wondered how they get the the bases of bridges to stay in the water?
That's a good question.
Yeah, how does all this work, and why can't the Rangers win on the road? That's one of the questions we'll continue to try to answer as we bring you the DLLS Rangers podcast each and every day right here at 1 o'clock.